the takeover of Roman Abramovich at Stamford Bridge when he bought Chelsea is the most important event in the Premier League era since the Premier League broke away to form the top division. Because as you so rightly put it, prior to that, you'd had an unbroken sequence of either Arsenal or Manchester United winning the title, and yes, you'd have a season where Newcastle were close. You would have a season where Chelsea were close. And you have a season where Liverpool as well were thereabout, but mostly you knew that everyone was fighting for third, and the issues that you see with like Ligue 1 or Bundesliga, or even with La Liga until recently when Cholo took over at Atletico Madrid, is you don't want leagues where you know that the champion is going to be one particular team or two teams. So when Abramovich takes over Chelsea, it is a tilt of the balance of power in the Premier League. Because now there's this guy who is going to take on the might of Manchester United, and he's going to take on the might of Manchester United, and he's also going to take on the panache of Arsene Wenger and his Arsenal team. And at the time, you're thinking, man, it's pipe dreams, you know. Yeah. And we'd never seen this. Like me myself personally, never seen that. Okay, they've got a new owner, but what exactly is he going to do? You know, because there wasn't a guy in the Premier League or anywhere for that matter who was pumping his own money into a team, and he was going to fund and finance and throw money at this until it became a top team at the very top, like upper echelon. And he did just that. He gets Mourinho after Mourinho wins the Champions League with Porto, and they go and they buy all these players, but you don't know if it's going to gel, if it's going to work. And it does. Like immediately, Frank Lampard, who had been at Chelsea, suddenly becomes one of the greatest like midfielders of all time. John Terry, coming up from the academy at Chelsea, one of the greatest centre backs in the Premier League era, also of all time. And when you mention the loss by United against Chelsea 3-0, the game that comes to my mind is the one where I think first game of the season, United go to Stamford Bridge, they lose 1-0. Ada Gunnarsson scores the winner, and that signaled that things have changed. This is not the same old Premier League that you've known. And I've said to you, like, Abramovich, set aside like his political affiliations and the thing that led to him having to sell the club. Just as an owner, like, my favorite figure in the game, like bar none, because of what you say. There is no toleration for mediocrity at Chelsea. You're going to win the Champions League. You're going to come next season and you're not going to be challenging for the title. Thanks for what you did last season. What have you done for me lately? You know, okay, we bring back Mourinho and he goes on another tear where he wins the championship, but then there's issues in the dressing room and results are not what they were. Thanks for what you've done for us. You're out of the door. You know, it always was what you are here to do, whether you're a player, whether you're a coach, whether you are in the back room or you are part of the board. You need to make sure that Chelsea are at the very top of the game. You need to make sure that we are winning. Frank Lampard, most recent example. Frank Lampard takes a team, they cannot make any signings, and he takes them into the Champions League and he's celebrated for that. And then the budget, he's given the budget, they buy all those players, and he starts off the season and it's shaky. Frank, who is a legend at Chelsea, thanks for what you've done. Yeah. And now we're going to go get someone else. He comes in mid-season, he wins the Champions League. This is what we do at Chelsea. Yeah. And when you come into Chelsea, you know these are the expectations. And that was a note, that was a tune that was set by the owner.
I think what you talk about in terms of when the season began, everything was a go. I think Chelsea is one of the best teams in terms of organizing and getting everything right and having all the tools present to succeed. Because when you look at recruitment, they haven't gotten it wrong very much. I mean, it's only now, and I don't think we'd say they've gotten it wrong with Timo Werner or Havertz. There's still years and time to get things right. Pulisic, Ziyech, they look like proper prospects that you could put your money on. Anyone would have signed those guys, right? But when you look at the cult heroes that they've been able to have over time, your Eden Hazard, your Didier Drogba, your Terrys that you mentioned, Lampard, they in that short amount of time have been able to build a team that not only wins trophies, but they've had cult heroes. They've been able to fly the English flag high. I think the English people will be happy about that. As now, Abramovich is like, thanks, but bye. But Roman has built a machine, a very, very efficient machine, because when you look at their transfer strategies as well,
And it's all him.
yeah, no, when you look at how they're loading out players as well, making money off of that, and maximizing any and everything that they can. I mean, when you look at the signings of Thiago Silva as well, they've always looked for the best. They've never gone for someone like, he's a good squad player, maybe except for Danny Drinkwater. But then he was punished as well. He never played because, like, we made a mistake there. We're not going to use you again. We have clubs, Jay. El Nenny's still there.
You persist to the guy.
Jones is still there. Like, Chelsea don't do that.
Nah.
If you're not good, you're not going to wear a Chelsea shirt. And that is why Chelsea win what they win. We persist with mediocrity for Lord knows how long, and I don't understand why. And with that, when you say the changing of an era, I'm sure when Arsene Wenger and the board okayed the idea to build the Emirates, like, we're going to build that, we're going to bounce back up. You never did because Chelsea was in the way. We thought we're gonna keep our hand on the title, but we never did because Chelsea was in the way. I mean, beyond City, we've gone on a tear in the last couple of seasons. Chelsea has been the main adversary for all of our regimes, for all of our titles. Chelsea has been the main opposition.